The Football Postcast in association with Paddy Power. Their new iPhone app is simpler than a Tim Sherwood Team Talk, so download it now.
Welcome to the Racing Post Football Postcast for this busy festive period. I'm James Milton. I'm joined in the studio by my Racing Post colleagues Mark Langdon and Henry Hardwick. And on the line from Paddy Power, making his first appearance on the podcast, is Thomas Reid. We're hoping it's going to be more of a Marcus Rashford-style debut than a George Weah's cousin, but so the pressure's on Thomas. And we've got some cracking festive fixtures lined up, starting on, I don't know what to call it, Boxing Day, St Stephen's Day, Monday, I think we'll stick with that. And the first game of Monday in the top flight, Henry Hardwick's still going to be emerging from his turkey hangover, sweat.
He's just been sorting out a trip to Kempton, I've heard.
Oh, goodness me. Well, there you go, Henry Hardwick, finger on the pulse of all sports. But Watford Palace. So you're not going to be watching Watford against Crystal Palace, Henry?
Probably not. No, I'd imagine I'll be a few beers in by the time this kicks off. I do like Watford here, though. I think they're more than a fair price, really. They're a decent side at home. They've won 4 of the last 6 on their own patch. You know, that includes wins against Everton and Manchester United and, Leicester. I know Leicester not great this season, but still decent results there. And Palace are just so wide open at the back. I mean, they've conceded 23 goals in their last 10 matches. And Watford have got the players up front to cause them all sorts of problems already. Scott Dan and Damien Delaney, Joel Ward, they're okay when the ball's in front of them and they can see everything, but a bit over the top behind them, and they really struggle. And Watford, with the likes of Deeney and Igalo and Success and Akaka, wherever they play up front, they've got the tools to cause them real problems. So I think Watford are for a decent bet here.
Yeah, Palace leaking so many goals. I mean, Mark, what's your take on this game? Has the pressure eased slightly on Alan Pardew, or he's still in trouble?
He looked like a beaten man, actually, after the Chelsea game. I mean, they only lost by 1-0. It's probably about a par result, given the way Chelsea are going. But just the lack of fight, really, and sort of they didn't really create anything last half an hour. And you expect at Selhurst Park, Palace to be able to at least raise their game a little bit for a last hurrah almost, but it never came. The only thing that's putting me off Watford is whenever I've seen them, they've been rubbish. Now, I know they can't be rubbish because they're doing quite well in terms of the table, but I've not been massively impressed with what I've seen. I quite like the look of both teams to score. I mean, Watford have scored in 8 of their 9 home games this season. Both teams to score has landed in 7 of those games. So defensively, they don't keep that many clean sheets. And for all that Palace have got, defensive woes, 5 at Swansea, 3 at Hull, 3 at Burnley, 3 at Leicester. I mean, they're terrible defensive stats. They have actually scored in all of their away games, bar the trips to Tottenham and Southampton. And I think those 2 sides are probably 2 of the best defensive teams in the Premier League, so maybe no shame in that. So I'll go for both teams to score. I think the early game on Boxing Day is slightly concerning me.
They're going to be bang up
there, but I'm just hoping that maybe they've had too many mince pies and that maybe it turns into one of those sort of 4-4 classics rather than a 0-0. I think it could go either way. But no, certainly looking at the stats there, the Watford stats, I like both teams to score.
Yeah, Palace certainly have a 4-4 in them, don't they? And I mean, the concern must be for them away from home. Not only the goals they've been conceding, but who they've been conceding against. You mentioned Mark, Swansea, Hull, Burnley. It's not the strongest teams in the division who are scoring against them. So Thomas, how do Paddy Power see this? The match betting. Henry's keen on Watford, and Mark likes both teams to score.
Okay, so we got Watford 13-10, the draw 23-10, and then Palace at 21-10, and then both teams score 8-11.
Okay, and do you have an opinion on this game?
Yeah, I sort of side with the lads. I think it's going to be a bit of a goal fest. I like the over 2.5 goals at 11-10. If you look at the stats, like in Watford's last 8 of 10 games have been over 2.5, and Palace 6 out of 7. They're both in poorish form. Obviously, Watford started very well the season, but they're struggling of late. Losing to Stoke, West Brom, Sunderland, teams around the sort of the teams they should be at least getting a point from. And obviously Pardew, under pressure, needs a win. So I think both teams are going to be going for a win. So I'd be like, 11-10, over 2.5 goals would be for my bet.
Yeah, sounds a decent shout.
Palace have got some hard games sort of still coming up, so they may feel like this is almost. He may feel like this is almost sort of must win for him.
Yeah, got to go for it. Yeah. Well, the later game on Monday sees Hull taking on Manchester City. City obviously buoyed by that second half display against Arsenal. Mark, was that the kind of football you were expecting from Pep Guardiola's City that maybe we haven't always seen?
Yeah, I think it was impressive because they were missing. And whenever a team like that wins against Arsenal, everybody always focuses on Arsenal's negatives rather than maybe the positives of the other teams. I mean, to win that game from behind, starting the way they did, without Fernandinho, Gundogan and Aguero, I think was a really big effort. I mean, Guardiola said after the game that they had one training session in the leading up to the Arsenal match where they spent 2.5 hours learning how to deal with second balls, and that was all they did in the training session after what happened against Leicester. And I mean that's what Guardiola is. He's like a sponge in terms of knowledge and sort of taking in and then what he needs to feed back to the players. So I'm expecting a very strong second half to the season from Manchester City, not ruling them out of the title race at all. Aguero's still missing, of course, for this game. I don't think it'll matter. I really like Hull to finish bottom this season. They played 5 times against teams that I think we're expecting to be, in the elite level, if you like. And 4 of those they lost by at least 2 goals. Manchester City, the highest away scorers this season with 19. I think it just points to Man City -1. I think they'll get in front and kick on.
Yeah, I think I was highlighting Manchester City's great away record before they went and lost at Leicester, so that was a costly one. But yeah, this looks a good fixture for them to.
Apart from the 4 goals they conceded that day, they did all right.
Absolutely, yeah, the minor details. Henry, can you see any hope for Hull to take anything from this?
I can't see any hope of them taking anything, but I can see them getting on the score sheet. So I like a bit of City to win and both teams to score. I mean, Hull got 3 against Palace, as we already mentioned. I know Palace are part of the back, but they scored 3 against Palace. Prior to that, they scored against Newcastle in the Cup. They found it against West Brom and Southampton in the league. So they can score goals. I know last time against West Ham, they drew a blank, but they had plenty of chances in that game. A few things would have gone their way. They could have definitely got on the score sheet. And for all City, are very good going forward. And, they played really well against Arsenal to come back from the position they were in. They still look dodgy at the back, to be honest. And if Hull can get a few free kicks, a few corners, I can see him nicking a goal. So, yeah, I'll be going down the lines of City to win and both teams to score.
Thomas, presumably Paddy Power will be hoping to get Manchester City beaten here. It might be the final leg of a few accas. Can you see Hull doing anything, or are you keeping City firmly onside?
Yeah, we're obviously just going to lay City, aren't we, in all the multis, and we're coming off a bit of we had a bad Saturday, bad midweek, so the punters have got plenty of money to go into Boxing Day with. In this one, I quite like. I'm going to go the first goal scorer market myself. I'll give you the price at first. So obviously Hull 8-1, the draw is 4-1, and Man City 1-3. The -1 Man City is 5-6, and if you want to back Man City and both teams to score to win, is 6-4. But like I said, I like the first goal scorer market. I think if Sterling plays in the position he played in the previous match, which is basically as the striker, I think 6-1 definitely looks value in that.
Yeah, that sounds very tempting. He obviously started the season well, didn't he? And on the score sheet against Arsenal.
I think everybody's going to wait, aren't they, and see who's playing up front for City.
Yeah, that'll be the key.
If it's Iheanacho, of course, he seems to be a little bit out of favour. Then it could be De Bruyne, it could be Sane, it could be Sterling. But definitely, I mean, you'd want to be whoever's playing as that central striker.
All right, guys, now we're after your best bet of the day, and let's hear the Racing Post, Steve Palmer.
This will not be beaten.
There you go, like the choristers at King's College there, Steve. Mark Langdon, your best Boxing Day bet.
Yeah, I mean, the price is going, unfortunately. I just hope it sticks around for long enough. It's Fulham, draw no bet at Ipswich. They've only got 2 defeats in their last 11. That was away to Villa and Brighton, 2 teams, I think, that are looking at promotion this season. Both of those were late on as well. And Dan Childs, the Racing Post colleagues, put Fulham up in the half-time team talk. He thinks that they're a decent bet to sneak into the top 6. Certainly dominated against Derby last time out in that 2-2 draw. They've got goals in them. I don't think you can say the same about Ipswich. Without the investment, I think Mick McCarthy's team are just going to be hanging around the Championship, not doing that much. So Fulham, draw no bet. If that price gets any shorter, I think I'll just go for the win.
Excellent. Well, I'm sticking in the Championship with mine. And Reading against Norwich, I think these two teams may long term be fairly similar standard, but at the moment you have to fancy Reading at home. Lost only one of their home games in the Championship. Norwich's slump continued with a home defeat to Huddersfield last time out. They've lost their last 4 away games. And the stat that caught my eye was in 8 games against teams above them in the table, which Reading are up in third, they've taken only 2 points. So I'm keen to oppose the Canaries. Henry Hardwick, what is your best bet?
Oh, this is the dangers of not liaising with your colleagues, because my shortlist was Fulham and Norwich. So, you two have made the arguments for me, so I'll punt for Fulham. But yeah, Mark's already, as Mark said, I'll have Fulham.
Well done, Henry. Plenty of research has gone in there. Thomas, Fulham?
Our price Fulham is 8-13, draw no bet.
Yeah.
And the Reading, was it the match price, yeah?
Yeah, just Reading for the match price.
8-5.
Fantastic. And what is your St Stephen's Day selection?
Oh, St Stephen's Day. I call it Boxing Day, obviously. But they all shoot, yeah. I'm going to go with Everton in the Premier League, Everton. I sort of had it priced around sort of the 15 to 8, 2 to 1 Everton. And obviously Leicester missing Vardy, the guy, the rude surname, and Huth. So they have to bring in that young lad into defence. And I think Everton have just sort of turned a corner, a bit unlucky against Liverpool. They had a good result against Arsenal, and I just think, this could be the day they get back on track and win.
Yeah, interesting fixture, that Leicester-Everton. We're going to have a short break, and then we're back with Liverpool versus Stoke.
Here's Paddy's latest offer. It's 2 up, you win. For all Premier League and La Liga matches, we'll pay out immediately if the team you back goes 2 goals up. Not available in shops. T&C supply. 18+. Gambleaware.co.uk.
Well, hopefully we've already selected plenty of winners for Monday's football, and so we're rolling on to Tuesday when Liverpool take on Stoke. Liverpool obviously buoyed by that late winner at Goodison Park, and they're going very well at Anfield, unbeaten in their last 15 Premier League matches at home. So, Henry, how do you see this one?
I'm going to take a bit of a chance here with Stoke on a double chance. I mean, Stoke have only lost 2 of their last 12 games. I know they'll be disappointed not to beat Leicester the other day, but they're a decent side. They're pretty solid at the back, and I think Coutinho is a massive loss for Liverpool. I mean, for all their great attacking play and for everything that's positive about Liverpool, and I just think everything that goes through him. And without him, to me, they just haven't looked the same side. And
he'll be back for the new year?
He looks to be back for the new year, but he looks a bit likely to be missing for this game. So yeah, just for that, I think everything good goes through him. He's the creative spark in the final third. He's the one that plays the final ball through, and he scores a lot of goals as well. I really think they missed him. Against Everton, I know they beat Everton last time, but they were fairly fortunate to do that. I think at the prices, it's worth taking a little chance on Stoke on a double chance market. Cover the draw as well. And Stoke don't lose that many games, and I think they might be able to nick something here.
Mark, what do you reckon? Can Stoke's defence hold up to the another expected hammering from Liverpool?
I feel they can at least hold up for a while. I was looking at maybe the draw half-time, Liverpool full-time as the route to go. I mean, you have a look, 5 of Liverpool's last 6 home goals have come in the second half. Of course, they got that last-minute winner against Everton. I think earlier on in the season, teams were caught out with just how quickly Liverpool was starting matches, and the half-time, full-time Liverpool double result was quite an attractive one because they were just rampant early on. I think teams are now giving them a lot of respect, and consequently, probably as well because Coutinho is out, they're just struggling a little bit to break teams down. They're having to wear them down more. And if you have a look at Stoke, they've only been behind at half-time once in their last 13 matches, and that they managed to hold Manchester United. Of course, they respectable against Arsenal for a while as well at the Emirates. So I think Liverpool probably will get the victory, particularly because they can bring on the likes of Sturridge off the bench, which could make the difference. But I wouldn't be backing them at the prices. That they are going off relatively quite short. I think now Liverpool. Bookmakers have got them down as very much genuine title contenders. So I'll just try and eke out a bit more value, go the draw Liverpool.
Excellent. And Thomas, what's your view on this game from Paddy Power?
So the prices, we've got the win, draw, win. Liverpool are 1-3, the draw 4-1, and Stoke 8-1. If you want to back the double chance Stoke and draw is 5-2, and the draw Liverpool in the half-time, full-time is a nice tasty 16-5. I think Liverpool should win. I'm sort of go down the route of what Mark was saying. They've been keeping quite a few clean sheets in the last 7 games. They've kept 5 clean sheets. But I believe, I agree with Henry that Coutinho, he's been a big miss, and they've just been they struggled a bit. So I think win to nil. I think they'll win 1 or 2-0 quite comfortably, and at 13-10, I think I'll be backing Liverpool win to nil.
Yeah, I mean they had that amazing run of all their wins came while conceding, but obviously you're quite right. They've tightened up now, and just looking long term, where do you see their title chances, Thomas?
I think they're going to finish third.
Okay.
Third. I think Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool. I think that would be the top 3.
Not what Liverpool fans want to hear after such a long wait, but excellent.
I think that is it's different, isn't it, in the second half of the season because the teams are now defending against Liverpool. I think that's helping them defensively because teams are not coming at them. So it's a bit like how Klopp had it at Dortmund, really, where I think there became a time when teams were so scared to attack them for what they could do on the break.
Yeah, your defensive record almost improves by default.
Yeah, I definitely think that there's something in that. And, of course, they've gone for Mignolet in goal now rather than Karius, who was up and down, I think it's fair to say.
That could be a trend to follow in the goals markets in Liverpool's matches in 2017.
Here's Paddy's latest offer. It's 2 up, you win. For all Premier League and La Liga matches, we'll pay out immediately if the team you back goes 2 goals up. Not available in shops. T&C supply. 18+. Gambleware.co.uk.
Welcome back to the Racing Post Football Postcast in association with Paddy Power. I'm James Milton. I've got Mark Langdon and Henry Hardwick from the Racing Post and Thomas Reid from Paddy Power. And the next game we're going to look at is Wednesday's clash between 2 very solid defences, difficult teams to beat. So, we're looking at a stalemate here. Southampton versus Tottenham. Now, Henry, you're an Arsenal fan, but you've got a soft spot for Spurs in this fixture.
Yeah, as much as it pains to say me, I think Spurs.
Think of the money.
Yeah, I think Spurs DMB is probably the best bet at the Premier League of this round of fixtures, to be honest. Just the last couple of games they've had, Hull against Burnley at home. It's a hectic period, but they've basically just had two buys, really. They've just been sitting on the couch, easily cruising past Hull and Burnley, where the other teams have been slogging away. They've had 2 lovely, easy runs of it. They should go to Southampton pretty fresh. Obviously very solid at the back, and Southampton have got issues with scoring goals. They've only got 5 goals in their last 5 games. Charlie Austin's a massive loss for them. You can't really see Southampton causing any problems. The only danger to a Spurs victory to me looks to be the 0-0. So yeah, Spurs DMB looks an absolute festive banker to me.
Excellent. Well, I was actually sitting next to Mark, who's a Tottenham fan, while he was following the Spurs Burnley game. He didn't look as relaxed as you're suggesting Tottenham players were when it was 1-1 for quite some time.
It was 30 shots. It was 30 shots.
The shot counts was looking good. Yeah, the scoreline wasn't for a while. But Mark, are you confident this tougher assignment for your boys?
This is a tough assignment. I was looking at the draw actually as maybe being the best way to go, purely on the fact that Southampton's home record. Really, I mean, they've only lost once at home this season, and that was against Chelsea, who scored very early on, and Liverpool had to settle for a point, at St Mary's. I think in that game they lacked ambition against Liverpool. I wouldn't be surprised if they did something similar against Tottenham. I think Pure is a manager that is, he's happy to take a point and then see if anybody can do anything up the other end. They played quite well at Bournemouth. I mean, Jay Rodriguez stepped in well for Charlie Austin, one brilliant goal. Whether he can do that consistently, I'm not so sure, particularly with his fitness record. Be interesting to see what Southampton do, because they've got this League Cup semis coming up soon as well against Liverpool, and Puel has rotated heavily throughout the season with this festive period coming up. We do wonder what sort of 11 he's going to send out for all the matches, whether he focuses on one game or tries to do a mix and match team. As far as Tottenham are concerned, they've only lost twice this season against Chelsea and Manchester United. Both away from home. There's no humiliation in that. But they have drawn half of their away games, and it's just whether they've got enough creativity in that final third to get the job done against the Southampton team, marshalled superbly by Van Dijk. So I'll go for the draw. I think it is going to be a low-scoring game. Yeah.
Yeah, I must admit, I like the look of a point apiece in this one. Thomas, what price are Paddy Power going about the draw in this game?
The draw is 23-10. Southampton are 9-5, and Tottenham are 6-4.
Excellent. And can you make a case for either side taking all 3 points?
No, I've got Saints can be so frustrating. I've backed them for the top 6, and every time they look like they're going to kick on and go on a bit of a run, they just lose to someone like Crystal Palace or something like that. So I'm with Mark here. I think it's a low-scoring affair. Under 2.5 at 4-6 looks locked up. I think that's a certainty. And I actually think I might even play the 0-0 at 15-2.
Excellent. Well, there you go. You can't ask for a more festive tip than that from Thomas. Hopefully, we've put you onto some winners here. And join us again next Thursday for another football postcast on this frenetic festive season.
The Football Postcast in association with Paddy Power. Their new iPhone app is simpler than a Tim Sherwood Team Talk, so download it now.